That's nice. I like that you say tree pod because every once in a while you get a girl who's like, I'm going to be a tree. And you have to explain to her like, oh, sweetie, you don't get to be the tree. You're tree food. You're helping the tree. You're sort of like a pageant mom to the tree. Like, go, baby, go. Be what I cannot, right? Tree pod's great. What else we got? Someone said, what? Donating to science. What part of science? What area of science are we thinking?
Medical school.
Oh, okay. You have a medical school picked out, but not like a specific area of science, not like keep it all above the net. I'm just saying, do we trust a bunch of college kids with our dead bodies? Do we feel like here's a dead mess of holes, you decide what science is? I'm not sure about that. I just leave specific instructions. That's my only thing. Is anyone getting cremated? Yeah? Okay. I hope you have a plan for where you want those ashes spread, because sometimes people go, I don't know. And it's like, you are going to end up somewhere weird if you don't. Your ashes are going to end up in like the cup holder in your driver's side door. You know that weird one where every 6 months you're like, was that an oat milk latte once? Like, that's the best answer I got recently. A guy yelled out, Viking funeral. Yeah, some guy in the crowd just yelled out, Viking funeral. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's cool if you want that, but I hope you have a niece or nephew that you're sending to summer camp that can make that shot, because that's a hard shot to make. The boat gets smaller and smaller the further away it gets, and if they miss, that's not a Viking funeral anymore. That's just a dead guy in a boat. And that is not as festive, is it? That's Stand By Me too. I'd like to be cremated, personally, because I grew up religious. A lot of people grow up sheltered, you know? Round of applause. How many people did not get a sex talk in here? Didn't get one. Round of applause. Oh, yeah, see? All right, now round of applause. Who did get a sex talk growing up? Who did get one? You did right here. Do you mind me asking you how old you were? Is it okay that I'm talking to you? I just want to make sure. If I talk to you and you're not into it, that's completely fine with me. I wouldn't talk to a live entertainer either. Do you consent to crowd work? I need a verbal yes, not just a thumbs up. Yes, see? Not that hard. That's how it's done. All right. All right. How old were you when you got the sex talk? 9. Okay. That seems a little early, but also kind of okay. I don't know how tall you were at 9. Right? Were you asking questions, or were your parents just like, it's time?
My mom took me for a picnic in the garden.
Your mom took you for a picnic in the garden? Fuck you so hard. Are you serious? Your mom took you to a picnic in the garden to tell you the horrors of sex. I'm sorry, I'm having an emotional reaction to that. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. This secret garden sex talk. Holy shit, okay, wow. What's that like, Lorelai Gilmore? Fuck me. So you weren't asking questions or anything. Your mom was just like, it's time. Oh, you were asking questions. See, a lot of people ask questions, and I didn't realize all these kids were so smart. I didn't know we were supposed to be smarter. I never asked any questions when I was a kid, which is so stupid now that I think about it. Because when I was a kid, before I got my period, I had 3 holes, right? I still do. I don't know why I said it like that. I still do, for the record, just for anybody watching. I still always have had, always will have. I mean, I think when you get your tubes tied, do they seal it? Oh, I'm going to Google it. Forget this. This was a tangent. I'll deal with this on my own. But before I got my period, I had 3 holes, and one of the holes wasn't doing anything, right? And I never thought to ask anyone around me, hey, what's this unemployed hole doing between my other 2 holes that are working pretty hard? I just walked around all day like, I don't know, that's my big one. God knows what he's doing. That's where my faith goes. After I saw Music Man, I started calling it my glove compartment, but that is another story. This was my sex talk. So when I was 10, I read what sex was in a book, not planning on it, just kind of like, oh my God, tried to forget. Just assaulted by Judy Blume, quite frankly. And then 2 years later, my dad was driving me home from school, and out of nowhere, he goes, do you know what sex is? And I was like, yeah, Dad, I read in a book. Let's never speak again, right? And he's like, all right, I need you to tell me what it is so I know that you know. My dad made me give him the sex talk. I was like, do you know what it is? He's like, why don't you just tell me what you know and then I'll tell you what I know. And we'll get to the bottom of this together. I used to ask my parents for relationship advice every time I went through a bad breakup. Don't do that unless you want to learn too much about your parents. I had a terrible breakup in my early 20s. And I remember I was back home. My stepmom was trying to comfort me. She goes, you know, Taylor, there was a guy in my dad was so religious growing up, he used to insist on praying out loud in restaurants before we ate dinner, which is fine if you're into that, but keep it short. He wouldn't do that. He would do long, drawn-out prayers full of personal details that none of us signed off on at the table, which made puberty pretty rough with your dad in public, just like, thank you, Lord, for this food. Thank you for bringing us here together. Thank you that Taylor's a woman now and is getting the help she needs in math. I'm like, can you not tell this Chipotle that I'm bleeding and can't subtract? I think God knows. It's why I don't feel bad telling jokes about my parents on stage now, because anytime they're like, do you have to air our dirty laundry in front of strangers? I'm like, hometown buffet, 1998. You told everyone within a 5-booth radius that I shat my pants the night before. I can say whatever I want. I'm not religious anymore. I have had some friends find religion as adults recently, which is very upsetting. If you grew up religious and you're not anymore and your adult friends find religion, it feels like God is your shitty ex-boyfriend who's now getting it together for your friend, and you just have to watch it happen on Facebook. They're like, have you met God? He's amazing. I'm like, yeah, I grew up with God. He's a douchebag, all right? Did he tell you you were broken and you need him? That's his move. That's what he does. He says that to everybody. Don't drink what he gives you. You drink that, next thing you know, you're eating his body, the Holy Spirit's inside you. It's a whole system they have over at that frat house they call church. Who else uses Roman numerals? That joke makes it sound like I resent my religious upbringing, and I do, so I nailed it. But no, honestly, if I had to come up with some stuff that was like positive about me growing up religious, I'm sure I could with enough time and money. But I do have some issues with it. It gave me some serious trust issues. And it just made me weird growing up in church in ways that I am still discovering. For example, I just found out that I masturbate wrong. I will back up. Okay, so when I was growing up in church, kids had youth group, and at youth group, they were like, don't have sex. And we were like, for sure, for sure. And then they were like, don't even masturbate. And all the girls were like, okay, we didn't even know that we could. And all the boys were like, why? And the way they explained it to us was, our youth pastor told us, he goes, it's not the physical act of masturbating that's the sin, you guys, all right? It's not even the orgasm. In fact, if you have a wet dream, thank God for the freebie and have an awesome day. But what are you thinking about while you're doing that to yourself, guys? That's what the sin is. It's the lust in your heart. It's the impure thoughts in your head. That is what the sin is. So when I got to be an adult and I wanted to masturbate, I was like, well, if I just don't think about anything, I could probably still go to heaven, right? Just like clear your mind, get in there, get it done. See you soon, Jesus, right? Touch nothing but the lamp. So I've been doing this my entire adult life. All my friends are like, you gotta meditate. I'm like, I think I do. And I do mean my entire adult life, by the way. I did not masturbate till I was a grown woman. I was that afraid of going to hell, all right? Yeah. I had my first orgasm with my college boyfriend. Do you know how embarrassing that is to get your first orgasm from another person? That's like having a realtor show you your own house. They're like, and over here we have a second bathroom. You're like, a second bathroom? Like, you've been here for 19 years. You never went poking around on your own? You're like, I did once, but I thought Jesus would get mad. So Yeah, I don't actually own this place. I'm just renting it from the guy upstairs. And if I flood the basement, I do not get my security deposit back. So, is there anything else I should see while you're here? She's like, yeah, let me show you the doorbell. I'm like, oh, is the doorbell even important? She's like, the doorbell is the only thing that matters. Nobody comes inside without touching the doorbell. Oh, but I did touch it. You didn't use enough pressure. It didn't light up. So thank you for coming to this. You did not have to. AI is getting pretty good. It's getting way too good. I don't trust it. My iPhone started capitalizing the G in God again without asking me. Did that happen to anyone else? Yeah, I don't know which update it was, but all of a sudden my iPhone's like, did you mean King of Kings? The robots are coming and they love the Lord. Are you guys worried about the robots? You concerned? Yeah. Have you looked at the people in your life, your friends, your family, and then back at yourself and gone, uh-oh. And I was trying to think of positive things that came out of me growing up in church. And the most positive thing, I can't believe I didn't think of sooner, I started doing stand-up in churches. That's how I started doing this. They called it testimony, but I was getting laughs. And No, I really did. I started doing stand-up when I was 16 years old, and for the first, 4 or 5 years of my career, I was performing in a lot of churches. If you don't know, in America, you can make a living as a church comedian. You can tour churches even bigger than this, 4,000 or 5,000 seats, and make a great living that way. And when I was 21, I had to decide, am I going to go the church comedian route, or am I going to go the secular comedian route? And I think you know what I picked. But I am so grateful to have that as my foundation for my stand-up career. I mean, I got so much professional stage time in front of thousands of people. I got paid. I learned how to work clean and perform in any room. And I think about that a lot. I'm so grateful for it. And I know a lot of you are probably sitting there right now going, well, that's nice. It's cute that you're grateful, Taylor. And we get what you're doing with the church and everything. But, we've seen your stuff now. And there's no way you could perform in churches now. And here's the thing, I don't want to. And I probably won't. But I fucking could though, okay? Oh, if I get canceled or some shit, I'm a fucking professional and I will be returning to churches, okay? I will turn this ship around so goddamn gosh darn fast. In a fetus's heartbeat, I'll go back to churches. I will rebrand like you've never seen. I'll get real big hair, marry a man, let him lead. Write a book called Submissive Wife, Submissive Life. Adopt a southern accent out of nowhere. And yeah, I'm going on tour. I have the beginning of the show all planned out in my head. It's going to start off pitch black auditorium. Then on the big screen, I'm only doing mega churches. That's where the money is. On the big screen, a black and white montage, probably starting with the Netflix ba-dong noise. They own my ass for 8 more years. A black and white montage of all my raunchiest jokes from my 20s. And that's why getting a guy to wear a condom is like, fade out to demon noises. Freeze frame on my young face. Lights slowly come up as I walk out wearing all... You know what? I'm just going to show you. This is how you get pussy! I came so hard. I'll have you know in bed, I am a wild animal, okay? And that's when I stopped believing in God. Go home and Google porn for women, okay? I lost my virginity late. I lost it when I was financially independent.
You guys, I'm literally fucking the patriarchy.
Are you wet? Let me feel. Yeah, I grew up with God. He's a douchebag. That joke makes it sound like I resent my religious upbringing. And I do, so I nailed it. Fucking hell! No Christian parents want to watch their daughter talk about depression and dick for an hour. Take that, Jesus! I don't know if any of you have tried to get a 20-something dude from a dating app to wear a condom lately, but it's sort of like trying to convince a 5-year-old to put a jacket on over his Halloween costume. That's when I stopped. And you guys think I haven't tried to masturbate? Yeah, you know, fucking hell. Jesus. Anybody recognize her? That was me, back when Satan had me in his clutches. And I can see some of you feeling like Joseph on Christmas right now. Like, is this whore lying to me? But everybody loves a comeback, don't they? It ain't a rebrand, it's a rebirth, folks. Welcome to the Prodigal Daughter Tour! All right, here's some great queer awakenings people sent in. Parent Die Young, you tend to think about death a lot more than other people. I certainly do. I tend to jump to the worst possible scenario. I catastrophize constantly, much to the detriment of many of my relationships. I was dating a guy once, and I said, hey, babe, when you don't hear back from me for a few hours, do you ever get scared that something bad might have happened to me? And he goes, no. I get scared you're mad at me. Men would rather you be dead than mad at them. Men would rather be in mourning than in trouble. That's the truth. If a guy misses 5 calls from his wife, he's like, oh, I hope this is the paramedic who found her. I also wish that joke didn't work. You know what's so funny to me about men who kill their wives? What? Well, just wait. What's so funny to me about men who kill their wives is like they think they're gonna get away with it. And it's like, dude, you've never planned a goddamn thing in your whole life. You've never made a dinner reservation and now you're gonna hide a body? This is quite the maiden voyage for event planning, dude. Maybe start with a potluck. I do think I've spent a lot of my life being really scared of death, play an important role in their lives. I love to third wheel it with my married friends, go out to dinner, see a movie, because I love that moment when they walk up to meet me in front of the restaurant, and I can tell that they've been fighting in the car. Married people think you hide it so well. You're just like, let's just table it till later. Let's just table it till later and have a nice evening. And then you come in real sweaty like, hey, it's good to see you. Glad we're finally doing this. Did they bring bread? They should have brought bread. The bread should have beat us here. Hey, can we get some bread, please? Can we get something to do with our hands other than attack each other, please? How are you? Tell us about you. Don't make me look at her. Don't make me look at her. And that's when you, as a single friend, get to tell your married friends all about dating nowadays. You get to tell them about the ghosting and the catfishing and the deep fake AI porn. And you know they get back in the car a few hours later like... I don't say this enough, but I'm grateful for you. Hang out with your married friends. Go to their barbecue. I'd love to come. What can I bring? Ice, dessert, perspective. You want to know what the best part about being single is, though? The best can't sleep. You know some kids don't have beds, right? Why don't you go lay face down on the cold tile for 10 minutes, see if you're not more grateful after that? And you know what, DC? I tried it and it works. It totally works. I do it on the bathroom floor in hotel rooms. I've had COVID many times, but I want to get a handle on my anxiety because I know if I didn't have anxiety, I'd be a totally different person. The worrying alone takes up so much mental and emotional energy every day. And it doesn't help. It doesn't prepare you for anything bad happening like you think it will. I told my therapist this recently. I go, I know worrying doesn't do any good, right? I go, what's that one quote by that great philosopher? When you worry, you just suffer twice. She goes, I don't know that one. Who said it? I looked it up. It's from a fucking Harry Potter prequel. I was so confident, I Googled it in front of her. She's like, what philosopher said that? I'm like, Newt Scamander? Shit. I think it was a fortune cookie. Can we just move on? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Without anxiety, I'd have a totally different personality because so many decisions I make in life are fear-based, or though so many decisions I don't make are fear-based. I watch the same shows and movies over and over because it calms me down. I know what to expect. It doesn't stress me out. I date the same type of person over and over because I know what to expect. It doesn't stress me out. If you think you have a type, you don't. You have anxiety. See someone. I have 3... It's always awkward getting into a new relationship, though, especially right after you've called off an engagement because you don't feel like you can say any cheesy romantic crap ever again. Even if you feel it, you just feel like you're a jinx. So when the next person's like, I want to be with you forever, you're like, oh, wouldn't that be something? I can't use the F word anymore, but I just need to build my credit back up. But samesies, bro, for sure. New relationships are awkward because you got to tell a whole new person what you like in bed. And the only reason you know what you like in bed is because someone else did it to you first. But you can't say it like that, right? You got to do that cute little tap dance of like, oh, babe, you know what would be so fun? That's never even occurred to me before. You know what your body is inspiring me to do right now? But in your head, you're just like, do it like Craig. Could you just do it how Craig did it every time? Craig didn't do shit right. He did that right, let me tell you. Can we just call him? Can we just call him and ask? It's not a big deal. We're all adults here. Remember when we reset the Wi-Fi router last month? It's just like that, babe. He's just a voice on the phone with the password. That's all he is to me now. No, I did block his number when you asked me to. Of course I did. But when you block a number, your phone kind of just saves it in a different folder. Ooh, some of us are going to fight in the car. Not everybody knew that. You have to be able to talk about what you like in bed, and you have to know what you can and can't say, all right? Like, I've been telling guys for years, I like it a little rougher in bed. I don't say it like that. I say like, oh, I'm damaged, you know? Like, if you're a straight guy, don't say that. If a straight dude's like, I'm damaged, fucking run! That guy wants your toes in a baggie, so... Sometimes you think you like something and you don't. I thought I liked dirty talk. Turns out I just like dirty phrases we agreed upon earlier. You ever tell someone you like dirty talk and then they hit you with something in bed and you're like, nah, that was not approved by corporate. No. I was having sex with a guy once. I was on top and he just went, look at you! Like I was taking my first steps. I'm like, you better get the camcorder, daddy, because I am never getting up here again. Therapy gets a lot better when you're single, too, because you have time to dig into things like that. When you're in a relationship, you waste half of every therapy session going over all the shit your partner won't go to therapy for. When you're single, that's an hour of you every week. It's almost too much time. You really got to start doing your homework on your days off. After my last breakup, I was coming into therapy hot every week with ideas like, hey, you know what I realized this week? The elementary school I went to growing up, across the street from a cemetery. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, I don't know, but that really seems like something, doesn't it? I bring the ingredients, you bake the cake. I'm not a doctor. I went down deep inside me, found something scary, brought it back up to you. I was so brave. Where's my treat? So brave. Favorite client. I really want to find out if I'm my therapist's favorite client. You can't just ask. They won't tell you. I've tried. The only way I can think to figure this out is to get in touch with another one of her clients. And then me and that client plan to call her over the weekend, separately, at the exact same time. Suicidal. And then we just see whose call she takes. We both want to end it. Who you want to keep here, Dr. S? And then whoever wins that face-off, we go to the next set of clients. And we just kind of do brackets, you know? Sort of like a March Sadness situation. My parents don't watch me do stand-up anymore. Don't worry. Don't worry. They're not interested. No Christian parents want to watch their daughter talk about depression and dick for an hour. It's not fun for them. My parents don't have a dark sense of humor, and I do, and I'm glad I do, because if you can laugh at the darkest stuff that's ever happened to you while it's still actively happening to you, sometimes that's what gets you through it. For example, here's a joke they will not like. Did you guys know that sometimes when you call a suicide hotline and the call drops, they do not call you back? Yeah, you think that'd be the time for star 69, but sometimes they just ring a bell in the cubicle like, lost another one, that's lunch. Some of you are tensing up like, did that really happen? Yeah, a few years ago, and it was fucking hilarious. I was on the floor of a DoubleTree hotel like, did this bitch just ghost me while I'm trying to ghost myself? That is, I mean, I've been left on red. I've never been left for dead. That's a new one. That is brutal. I wasn't even mad. For all I know, that's how they train those volunteers. Like, hey, some nights we get too many calls. Fridays are big for us. In those situations, you're just gonna have to use your best judgment, all right? Like, I usually wait for like a privileged white girl name, like a Chelsea, a Kelsey, a Taylor. Those are the salmon I throw back and hope they swim upstream on their own. Even if I was mad, what am I gonna do? Hop on Yelp? Like, 1 star, totally killed myself. You're gonna wish I killed myself after this reveal. I did that joke in Texas a few weeks ago, and there was a girl, white, my age, in the crowd who goes, and the wait times are ridiculous. And she's right, okay? I think if you were a frequent caller, there should be some sort of rewards program. You know, like when you show loyalty to an airline. Like, you should be able to do that with suicide hotlines where you call in and they're like, please enter your rewards number. Boop, 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 boop. Welcome back. Taylor. Thank you for your diamond medallion status. You are now 3rd in line. Would you like to use an upgrade and kick someone else out? My parents are still very, very religious. I've been working on anxiety in therapy. That's been my main focus for the last few years. Anybody have anxiety? Does anybody struggle with panic attacks? Has anyone ever gone to the emergency room for anxiety or panic attacks? Oh, a few of us. Look at that. What do we think was happening? Heart attack? Yeah. And then you get there and they're like, oh, it's actually your mind that's attacking you. Yeah. I'll make you feel better. I went to the emergency room once because I fell asleep in AirPods, woke up, couldn't find one, thought I swallowed it. You meant you drove halfway there and it turned around because it was silly? Nope, went the whole way. Got seen. I wish I could pretend this story happened a really long time ago, but the technology involved makes that impossible. So I've always had a lot of trouble sleeping my entire life. And before AirPods came out, I would fall asleep in regular headphones, listening to a podcast or a movie, something to calm me down. And before AirPods came out, headphones had cords on them. So if you swallowed one of those, you just pull it out like a magician's scarf. No big deal. But then they came out with AirPods, so I started falling asleep in those. And so a few years ago, doesn't matter how many, I fell asleep in 2 AirPods, woke up in 1 AirPod, and was like, well, obviously I swallowed it. Like a baby or a dog. Convinced my sister to take me to the emergency room, ruining Christmas morning for everyone. So we get to the emergency room in our hometown where I have to tell 3 grown women at the front desk what I'm doing there. I'm like, well, you probably get this all the time. But it would seem that I may have, inadvertently, in my sleepy sleeps, swallowed an AirPod? And they were like, an AirPod, sweetie, those are pretty big, right? Those are big. You really think you could have swallowed? And I said, how about we don't have a team discussion about what I can and can't swallow, okay? And they're like, wow, someone was ugly in middle school. We'll take you back. So they take me back. We're waiting for a doctor, which, by the way, I don't know what I thought a doctor was going to do if I had, in fact, swallowed an AirPod. They're not going to perform surgery. They're going to go, oh, my God, yeah, it's in there. Well, stop at Taco Bell on the way home. Good luck. Taco Bell, good for every occasion. I don't know what I thought the AirPod was going to do to me damage-wise in there. I'm like, what if it's still charged? What if it electrocutes my intestines or starts playing Glee covers and everyone can hear? My sister's like, you deleted them all. I'm like, not all of them. Some of them are bangers. Before a doctor can come in to see us, my other sister calls us from home and goes, hey, yeah, we found it in the pillowcase. Does Crazy want to come home and have pancakes now? I'm so embarrassed. I want to sneak out the back as quickly as possible. I'm like, let's just go. Let's just leave. And my sister's like, you can't just disappear. They're going to think something bad happened. I was like, something bad did happen. Let's go. She's like, that's an emergency exit. I'm like, it's an emergency room. It's a regular exit. Let's leave. But here's my problem with the emergency room. When you are having an anxiety or panic attack, it is your only option, which is why I think they need to open a second option right next door called the anxiety room. All right? So you have the ER and the AR. And the ER is where you go when you've been shot, stabbed, you are actively bleeding. That's where you go. You fill out all that complicated paperwork because that seems like the time to do it. And then the AR is where you go when you're like, I don't know where the bad is, but it's in me somewhere. It's either cancer or the devil, but I have to get it out. And that is just one fill-in-the-blank form that says, I know that it is probably fine, but... my bones feel itchy. I don't know! I just need someone in a white coat to tell me I'm stupid. I know I mentioned during... I used to be a really toxic girlfriend. I've worked on it a lot in therapy over the years. I was a nightmare in my 20s. I was dating a guy once in my 20s, and we were laying on the couch one night, and we weren't fighting, and I thought that was weird. So I turned to him, and I said, hey, babe, if you found out that we were cousins, would you break up with me? And he goes, yes. And I was like, whoa, fast. No follow-up questions. You're just out like that. He goes, it's illegal, Taylor. I'm like, so are mushrooms, and we did those. Now you're this law-abiding citizen just because we're cousins? He goes, you're so wrong about this. Ask anyone we know. So I texted the 3 happiest couples in my phone, and I said, hey, if you two found out you're cousins, you didn't know when you met, you haven't known this whole time you've been together, you have the same relationship you've always had, but whoops, you're cousins. Would you break up? And they all wrote back, do we have to tell anybody? And I showed him my phone, and I said, that's what love looks like. Quick poll. If you found out your partner was your cousin, clap if you would break up with them. Okay. That's a lot of people. No, don't discuss. Fight in the car. Fight in the car. Okay, now, if you found out your partner was a robot, clap if you would break up with them. Oh, interesting. Bit of a drop-off over here. Some of us clap for cousin and not for robot. Okay, so we're going to abandon our family, but we'll keep fucking the toaster. Okay, well, that makes sense. 6. Okay, like 6:30. Do you have time to feel abandoned and worthless? Okay, 6:30 in the parking lot. It's a date. I love you so much. You're doing a great job at work. Bye. That's never happened to me once. Every feeling I have demands to be felt immediately. Every feeling I have demands its own parade. Every feeling I have just turns into that scene from Aladdin where he's pretending to be a prince. It's like, OMG, Taylor's hungry. This could get dicey. Needs a sandwich. Now she's a bitch. Take it from me. But I'm glad I've had this year to work on this stuff because I needed it. I thought I was on an antidepressant. It turns out I'm not. It turns out I'm actually on a mood stabilizer that they use as an antidepressant. Fun fact about prescription drugs. Everything they prescribe, they actually use for like 4 different things. So you don't really know what your deal is until you find a combo that works and then Google all your pills by yourself. So after years of trial and error, I finally found a combination of things that worked for me. And 6 months ago, I decided to Google it, because what the hell? And it turns out that everything I'm taking is primarily used for bipolar disorder. So I went back to my psychiatrist and I was like, hey, do we think? And she was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, is this how you fucking tell people? And she's like, no, of course not. We didn't know. I'm glad we figured it out. And I was like, we? I said, you really didn't know that I was bipolar? And she goes, no, of course not. We thought we were treating anxiety and depression. And I said, okay. Because this kind of feels like a putting your dog's medication in cheese situation. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this diagnosis. And she goes, well, if it makes you feel better, you don't have to say I am bipolar. You can say I have bipolar, which feels a lot like someone going, I said you were being a bitch. I'm so glad I know that I'm bipolar now. I mean, I have the right meds. I got a mood ring. I'm handling it. But when I first found out, it was a very tough pill to swallow, and I've swallowed a lot of pills. Because when you first find out something like that, you're like, oh man, am I gonna tell anybody? Should I tell anybody? And if I do tell people, am I hot and or talented enough to be an inspiration? Like, if I have a thing and someone else has that thing and they find out I have it too, are they gonna feel good or bad with that information? Because when I got diagnosed, they started listing names. They were like, you know who else is bipolar? Selena Gomez. And I was like, that does make me feel better. She is very pretty. Okay, I'll be bipolar. I did not grow up in a household that was very, like, mental health conscious. Like, we were very religious. I don't know if you've ever tried to tell your conservative dad that you have a mental health issue. It doesn't go great. When I was in high school, I was like, Dad, I think I'm depressed. And he was like, you just need some protein. Get a scoop of peanut butter. Yeah, there's a lot of dads out there just white-knuckling it through life right now. Clinging to a jar of chunky Jif like it's the answer. Just a buoy in the storm. It'll pass. The only mental health advice my dad ever gave me is I was having panic attacks in high school and I didn't know what they were. And I was very stressed out. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I feel like this. I don't know what to do. And he goes, all right. All I can tell you is that when you feel like this, get as far away from the people you care about as possible until you feel different. Which is advice you give a werewolf. Like, just run into the woods so you're not a monster anymore. Don't let them see you change. They won't accept you for what you truly are. And I had friends who scared me too when I was trying to get on medication. They were like, ugh, I tried antidepressants. I didn't like how I felt on them. I didn't feel like myself. And now that I'm on them, I'm like, yeah, me neither. It's the best. Okay? And I do feel like myself. I just feel like now someone's sitting on me going, shh, stop talking. You will ruin everything. We are trying to help you. You'd be married right now if you just shut the hell up. Remember that? Yeah, us too. We are trying to help you. Go to sleep. Choose a different adventure. And they warn you about the side effects when you get on medication. They go, your sex drive might go down. And I'll be honest, I have experienced that since I got on medication. But I can't tell if my sex drive is lower or if my self-esteem is just higher now. It's like, am I not in the mood or do I just not need the validation? Which is it? Because depression will bring you to your knees and you're like, well, I'm down here, might as well make someone feel good. I do not want to waste a trip. If you're not laughing, congrats on your serotonin. And if you're like, what's serotonin? Don't worry, you have enough. I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it on stage, and then I needed new material, and I was like, fire sale, everything goes. No, truthfully, I was surprised that I felt so bad about it, because I think I'm pretty open-minded, and I don't think anybody should feel bad if they get diagnosed with a mental illness, because it's just information about you that helps you know how to take better care of yourself. Yeah. Being bipolar, there's nothing wrong with it. Being bipolar is like not knowing how to swim. It might be embarrassing to tell people, and it might be hard to take you certain places. But they have arm floaties. And if you just take your arm floaties, you can go wherever the hell you want. And I know some of you are like, but Taylor, what if people judge me for taking arm floaties? Well, those people don't care if you live or die. So maybe who cares? Maybe fuck those people a little. I don't know. That being said, you have to take your arm floaties. Because it's not cool to know you can't swim, go to the public pool anyway, and jump into the deep end, making it everyone else's problem. And you're thrashing around going, I'm good. They're like, you're literally drowning. And then someone nice and handsome jumps in to help you. And you're like, see, I'm fine. I can totally swim. And they're like, no, you're holding him underwater. You turned Kevin into an arm floaty. And that's not a fair relationship for Kevin. Then someone floats by you on their back and you're like, what was that? And they're like, oh, that's someone whose parents supported them in the pool. Until they could be trusted not to die. Here are your arm floaties. I was very nervous to tell friends of mine I was bipolar because I thought they would think of me differently. And then I told all my friends, and nobody did. And it was actually pretty insulting. Because I've had friends tell me they were bipolar, and I was like, what? You're kidding. And then I told my friends, and they were like, that checks out. That connects a lot of dots for us. I told Dustin, one of my best friends in the whole world, and he goes, yeah, your mental illness was kind of like your middle name. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that you had one. I do like having sex with men sometimes. I will say, does anyone like sucking dick for real? Does anyone really? Yeah, oh wow, good for you. Just a quiet hand raise. That's beautiful. That's so nice. Wow, heroes among us. Good for you. Sucking dick the way I like going for a run. I'm proud of myself after. But during, I'm always like, why'd I do this? I didn't have to do this. There's other ways to get where I'm going. But then afterwards, I'm always like, wow, the power of the human spirit. Really is all mind over matter out there. But then during, I'm like, people should be throwing little cups of water on me for being so brave. But then afterwards, I'm like, nice. Got my time down. We're trying to get faster, not better. I remember I was so scared to start going down on women. And then I went down on a girl for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, that was so much better. I was so mad at my whole life. I was like, you're telling me this whole time I could have been licking ice creams, and instead I've been swallowing swords? Could have been living like a child on the boardwalk, instead I've been living like a carny with something to prove. Not that I'm like killing it at queer dating. I am with the guy she's dating. I was like, really? She goes, yeah, would you ever have a threesome? I was like, oh my God, no. I didn't want to hang out with 2 other people. I've never been in the middle seat on a flight fighting for an armrest, like, wish we were all naked. That would be cool. I don't even think I could date an extrovert again. I dated an extrovert once. We moved in together. The first week we lived together, he's like, hey, what if we had some people over? I was like, look, if you don't want to be with me, just say so. You want to have people over? Over what? My dead body? If you're an extrovert and you're in love with an introvert, you gotta understand, asking us to invite people over is like asking us to do anal. Watch our face change. Like, I'm sorry, is it your birthday? Seems like a big ask for a random Tuesday. I live alone now. It's incredible. I fall asleep in the middle of the bed like a boy king, just like, good night, Joffrey. It's fantastic. I eat all the food I buy. Every grocery I buy, it goes it goes bad. That's power, DC. Yeah. If I clog the toilet at home, I don't have to deal with it right away. That's freedom, DC. When I lived with a man I was attracted to, I was always like, no, please, toilet, don't tell him I'm a human woman. I beg of you. Take my dark secrets to your watery grave. Remember our bargain. Now I'm like, you loser, toilet. That's what lids are for. You want to see the sky, do your job. I was so afraid of being single all throughout my 20s. I was terrified. I've been masturbating like this my entire adult life, and I recently mentioned it to a friend of mine. And you ever say something out loud and realize you never should have ever? I said it so casually over brunch, didn't even think about it. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I don't think about anything. Well, I do that. And she was like, what? She put her fork down. What? You don't think about anything? And I was like, oh, no, I mean, I think some stuff, obviously. And she was like, what do you think about? And I was like, oh, you know, just like, almost there, making good time. You know, just like road trip thoughts, like, keep your hands steady, don't fall asleep. Can't wait to get there so I can eat. Better hurry up, Taco Bell's gonna close, you know. And she was like, that is so weird, Taylor. Why don't you just watch porn like a normal person? And I was like, ugh, I don't like porn. Every time I try to watch porn, I'm just like, you gotta shave there too? I'm tired and I'm cold. And I'm not against porn, okay? I'm not one of these people that's like, if you watch porn, it'll ruin your relationship. I don't feel that way, all right? I dated a guy once who was really into massage porn, where the masseuse would like fuck their client at the end, which means sometimes when we had sex, I got a massage. That's an example of porn working for you. But my friend was like horrified. She was like, Taylor, this like monk masturbation thing you do, it is so much creepier and weirder than any porn I've ever seen. And I've seen most of it. And she goes, there are so many different options porn-wise on the internet now. You just go home and Google porn for women, okay? Just do it, I promise. Porn for women. And so I went home and I Googled porn for women so I wouldn't be weird at brunch. And a lot of surprising things came up when I Googled it. First thing that came up when I Googled porn for women was a link to Disney Plus, where all the Avengers movies are. Now, for me personally, they jump around too much. There's too many storylines. You're almost there with Loki, and now we're on Captain America. It's like, I have to start over. That's a different speed, a different pressure, and now there's a raccoon? No. The second thing that came up when I Googled porn for women was a website where real-life couples are uploading amateur sex tapes. Yeah, real-life couples are like, hey, we're so happy and in love. We thought that we would film ourselves making love and then put it online for you, a lonely person. Is it working? Are you wet? And you're like, not in the right place. No. But congratulations, what you have seems really special. But the last thing that came up when I Googled porn for women, I did not know existed. It's something called audio porn. It's exactly what it sounds like. There's no visual aspect. It's all audio. It's not really a porn star. It's more like a porn voice actor talking you through a sexy situation. It's like a podcast, except don't listen while you're driving. And because it's for women, that just means there's a story, right? Anyone can watch. They don't check. They don't just hop on the mic like, now it's out, bitch! Like, they ease you into it. And so the one I found is 20 minutes long. I will send it to you if you DM me. And the first 12 minutes, the story is just a man calming you down after you've been in a car wreck. That is the foreplay. And you guys, I came so hard. I mean, I didn't even make it to the sex part. It was the comfort alone. He's like, it's okay, take some deep breaths, don't worry. The insurance companies will figure it out. I'm like, oh my God, that's right, that's why we have insurance. By the time he was like, what else can I do? Should I go down on you? I was like, nah, man, I got Allstate. I'm in good hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Tomlinson!
The boys wanna be her. Boys wanna be her. Girls wanna be her. Boys wanna be her. Girls wanna be her.
DC, how we doing?
How stupid was that? I came up from the floor like I'm a fucking Jonas brother. I know that was silly, and it was my idea. I was so embarrassed that I thought of that, but it was too late when we got here to change it because men with jobs had built it. And we're operating it very well, I might add. And I was just like, we can probably just scrap it, right? They're like, well, this is like a week of our lives. So I know that was dumb. Thank you for indulging me. How are we doing, DC? Thank you so much for coming. For work, he and I have very similar jobs. We're both out here on the weekends, changing lives. No, he hates it when I say that. He hates it so much. I'm always trying to talk shop with him. I'm like, hey, Jim, how was your early show? He's like, you know it's first service, Taylor. I'm like, well, I just noticed you had a heckler on the late one. He goes, that person was yelling amen and hallelujah to agree. I'm like, that's the worst kind of heckler, Jim, because they're being supportive, but they're still disrupting your flow, right? I go, you know, I donate 10% of what I make, too. He's like, to who? I'm like, my agent, but it's still a tithe. I'm like, I'm kidding, Jim. I know we don't do the same thing. But think about this. I make them feel guilty Saturday night. You save their ass Sunday morning. I set them up. You spike the ball. You're welcome. I helped. But my Uncle Jim's like a great pastor. He's like very progressive. He gives really interesting sermons. We didn't have a cool pastor like my Uncle Jim growing up. I was queer in the last couple of years. And, oh, thank you. Thank you. That's really nice of you. Because let me tell you, coming out as bisexual at 30 feels like saying to a waiter, by the way, it's my birthday. They're like, cool, sing to yourself. You're a grown woman, so... You're like, excuse me, I was very brave. I just came out. They're like, yeah, but the coast was clear, wasn't it, babe? Like, I would have come out sooner, but I have 3 younger siblings, and they're all queer, and they kept coming out. They just kept popping out like little groundhogs, and every time another one popped out, I was like, well, that's 6 more months of heterosexuality for me, I guess. I was also hesitant to come out as bisexual because there's a stigma around it, right? When you say you're bisexual, a lot of people assume that you are good at sex. And I'm not, guys. And I refuse to get better. All right? I'm not learning any more tricks, okay? I turned 30, I was like, shut it down. As Jesus said, it is finished. I'm hitting save progress. I'm gonna die on this level. But I didn't want to tarnish the brand of bisexuality. I didn't want to bring down the team. I have so many queer friends who are so open and free with their sexualities. It's like, oh, it's so fun. I have so many like Samanthas in my friend group, and they're so fun and inspiring. But I also think we need some gay prude representation as well. But because I grew up in church, I see Bible stories everywhere, right? Like, here's some fun ones. What about the 200 foreskin story? Do you know that one? Yeah? That's a deep cut. So, in the Bible, David wanted to marry Saul's daughter, and Saul's like, you can marry my daughter if you bring me back the foreskins of 100 of my enemies. Which, like, whoa, Scorpio, am I right? Who has 100 enemies and is thinking about their foreskins? Like, someone was born in deep November. So Saul's like, get me 100 foreskins, then we'll talk. So David goes out, comes back with 200 foreskins, and that's where the phrase, if he wanted to, he would, ladies, comes from. Yeah. That's not from TikTok, that's from the Bible. What about Job? Have we heard of Job? Job? Got some Job heads in the house? Job was this guy in the Bible. He loved God so much. One day, God and Satan are talking. They don't really get into why they're talking, but, you know, sometimes you call your ex and everyone's like, what are you doing, right? So God and Satan are kicking it for some reason. And Satan goes, hey, God, I noticed that Job loves you a lot. And God's like, yeah. And Satan's like, well, I bet he wouldn't love you as much if I fucked with him enough. And God's like, okay, I'm bored. Let's see what you got. So Satan goes out and he ruins Job's life. But Job never forsakes God. And that is what How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is based off of. Matthew McConaughey is Job. Kate Hudson is Satan. I so appreciate you guys being here. It has been a rough couple years. I got bangs at one point. Shit got dark. I didn't even want bangs. I just needed people to check on me. And it works, by the way. You post a selfie in bangs, everybody's like, fire emoji, you go, girl. Then they text you like, you okay? Here's what I did. I got bangs. And then 2 days later, I did mushrooms for the first time. And as soon as I did those mushrooms, I was like, I should have done these first. Probably wouldn't have gotten these bangs if I forgave myself, huh? But you know what? Having bangs feels exactly like being on mushrooms. The whole time you're just looking at your friends like, do I look weird? You guys would tell me if I looked weird, right? Is it bad different? Is it not good? You know what? I changed my mind. I don't want to do it. It's too late. It's already happening. Okay, no, I can be this person. I'm not sure if I want kids now. I go back and forth on whether or not I want kids so often that sometimes I just want to get my tubes tied because that feels like the reproductive equivalent of pouring water on brownies in the trash. You know, and you're like, I'm gonna want these later. But I'm thinking straight now. So I'm gonna remove the option. If you're not laughing, congrats on having a healthy relationship with food your whole life. Do we have any moms in here that wouldn't mind? Oh, good. You're like, yes, I am. I love that. That wouldn't mind me asking them personal questions about childbirth. Love it. Your hand's still up. Love that. Moms are so cool. They're always like, yeah, sure, I'm an open book. Literally. They cracked my spine on the way out. So I would love to share. Okay, how many kids do you have? Two? Nice. How old are they? 16 and 18? Oh, thank God. They're like full people. When people have babies, I freeze up. I'm like, oh, is it water? Has it opened its eyes or has it dried out? They come out pretty slick, right? Yeah. Got a grip on it. Okay, you got teenagers. Did you have your kids out the main terminal? Yeah, I thought that was a classy way of putting it. Okay, so I've talked to a lot of women on this tour who have told me, because I'm very scared of childbirth, which makes sense. I grew up in church where not even abstinence could protect you fully, right? They told you the story of Mary. They're like, yeah, no, keep your knees closed. Hope God doesn't pick you. Like, it's it adds a whole other layer of fear to childbirth. Childbirth is already terrifying. What if it's breech? What if it's sick? What if it's God? So I'm very scared of childbirth, and I've talked to a lot of moms on this tour who have told me that when you're pushing, a lot of times your body's like, we know what you're looking for. Coming right up. Ding, ding, ding. And at some point during the process, in addition to a baby, you may also push out. Did you poop? Yeah. Thank you for being honest. Thank you so much. Here's what I've learned asking that question for the last couple years. There's only 2 correct answers to did you poop during childbirth. Yes, I did, and I do not recall. Yes, I did, or none of my business. Because some moms talk about childbirth like it's a music festival they went to once. They're like, I was on a lot of drugs. I think your dad was there. I don't know. All I remember is I kept yelling, play my song, bitch. And they made me leave before I was ready. The first time I ever asked someone, I was at a comedy club in Dallas, Texas. There was a woman in the front row. She goes, 3 kids, never pooped. And there was a table of nurses nearby who were wasted, you guys, who started scream laughing at her. Everybody poops, every single person. And if you think you didn't, then we fucking lied to you. And I had to watch this whole woman's world change. It was like the Truman Show. I felt so bad. I was trying to save the vibe in there. I was like, hey, babe, don't feel bad. Even if I, airlift mine out, I'm going to poop on that table just to show him who's boss, right? To be clear, my biggest issue with church wasn't that they wanted us to save people. It's that they wouldn't let you make a good point, right? Anytime you were growing up in church, you were like, well, you have to admit, it was pretty messed up when God did this in the Bible. They'd be like, well, that was the Old Testament, That was before God stopped drinking. Like, that was a different guy. Yeah, he's kind of a fuckboy back there, and then he had a kid, and he's like, I'm different now, He's like, I was in a fraternity. Of course I was drowning people. Like, people change. Anytime you had an unanswerable question at church, they always said the same thing. They'd go, that's a great question. And we can ask God that when we get to heaven. Which, if you were God, how pissed would you be that they were sending people up to heaven like that with a bunch of questions for you? You're God. You made everything and everyone. You probably just want to do the ta-da heaven part. And now every time someone dies, you have to do a press conference? Every time someone dies, you're like, hey, welcome to heaven. They're like, okay, but first, God, when a kid dies, right, and they didn't say the prayer and they didn't get saved, that's an automatic heaven, right, God? You wouldn't send a kid to hell, right, God? Right, God? Right, God? Right, God? And God's like, fucking real. Seriously, dude, you're in heaven, bitch. Do you go to Disneyland? Hope all the workers get benefits? Shut up. You are a killjoy. Yes, the kids are in heaven. We muted the kids so we could all enjoy heaven, but yes. That's a dark one. I know, that's a dark one. I have a dark sense of humor, partially because I grew up in church. Church is a dark place. Every Sunday, you go to a big room where the underlying message is, won't it be great when we all get to be dead with Daddy? That's church. Can't wait to be dead with Dada. That's church. But I can't blame church entirely. I really wanted to marry, and when it didn't work out, I was devastated. I said, really? I didn't know about this. And my dad goes, I did. She talks about him all the time. And I was like, well, wait, who was this guy? What was his deal? And she goes, well, he was really cool, actually. He was an Alzheimer's scientist. And my dad goes, notice how that's not cured yet. And she's like, wow, honey, well, I hope we never get Alzheimer's. He's like, I hope we do, so we can all forget about this guy. I used to be way too loose with who I asked relationship advice from. I used to ask people in the audience, total strangers. I asked a couple in the front row of a show once, 2 couples therapists who had married each other. Which, I know, you ever see quadruple stuffed Oreos, and you're like, enough, right? That is a hat on a hat. It's excessive. But I was like, wow, 2 off-duty couples therapists. You gotta ask them, right? I said, do you guys have any advice for people in relationships, maybe people who are fighting a lot? And they said, we do. You know how a lot of people have a safe word to stop sex? Everyone needs to have a safe word during fights. So I asked a married friend of mine, I said, do you guys have a safe word for fights? And he was like, what? I'm like, it's a word that when you say it during the fight, it stops the fight. And he goes, oh yeah, we have one of those. I said, really? What is it? He goes, cunt. But I have to say it doesn't really work if she says it. I was like, Jesus, I was looking for like pineapple, dude, but... I used to ask people for relationship advice after breakups because I thought that was me working on myself, but it really wasn't. It was just me trying to figure out how to get into another relationship as quickly as possible so I wouldn't have to work on myself. The reason people don't want to be single for long periods of time is that once you're single for a little bit, you start to notice, ooh, some of the issues in my relationships are still here. And it's just me now. There's only one set of footprints in the sand. And no one's carrying my ass, right? Like, I've realized in the last year, I still have a lot to work on. I've realized I'm very petty in relationships. I realize that because I don't wear perfume when I'm single. Don't even think about it. I wear perfume when I'm in a relationship, though, because I know that if we break up and you smell that smell later, you'll get sad. And that makes me happy. I don't wear perfume to smell good. I wear it to haunt you later. I was on a first date with a guy. I realized we both had 3 younger siblings. I said, oh my God, let's text our sibling group chats right now. Ask them what our biggest flaw is. I'm so fun on a first date. I can't believe I'm alone. He texts his brothers, hey guys, what's my biggest flaw? And they write back, works too hard, cares too much. One of them wrote back dyslexic, which I thought was pretty funny. He couldn't read it, but I could. I text my siblings, hey guys, what's my biggest flaw? And my brother writes back immediately, probably that you expect everyone to hurt you, so you just leave before they can. I was like, dude, I'm on a date right now. He's like, oh, sorry, it works too hard. I thought this was a secure line. I'm a very emotional person. I'm a very emotional partner. I think I'm run by my emotions. Did you guys know that some people feel their feelings privately? Have you guys heard about this compartmentalizing bullshit? Some people apparently have these polite little feelings that shuffle up to them during the day, tug on their sleeve, like, hello, excuse me, I need to be felt at some point whenever you get a chance. And you're like, oh my God, well, I'm at work right now. And you're like, oh my God, you're at work? I'm so sorry. Do you have time later? Well, I get off. We always get the cast of Pirates of the Caribbean. We always get Shigo from Kim Possible. We always get Robin Hood the Fox version. And then people always ask what my queer awakening was. And my queer awakening, I figured out because I was watching home movies of me as a little kid. And I found this video of me talking to my mom when I was like 3 or 4. And do you guys remember the girl deer from Bambi, Pauline? Okay, so apparently Pauline was my queer awakening, and we do have the footage.
Why is he best?
Because he's just the best.
Well, what about Pauline? Isn't she the best too?
Yeah, she's very pretty. She makes me like a hot dog in a pan.
She makes you like a hot dog in a pan? My goodness, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Thank you so much, Grand Rapids. I cannot thank you enough. One more time for Sophie Buttle, everybody. Like that you can inconvenience your family after you're gone. That's fun for me. Because who's going to say no to taking your ashes home, first off? Like, oh, I couldn't possibly. There's no room at my house. We're full up on haunted cups. Like, nice try. Take me home. I'm so small, right? And then if you want your family to spread you somewhere, depending on how you feel about your family, that's where you send them, right? So if you love your family, you're like, I'd like you to spread me in Hawaii over 7 days of PTO. That's what I'd like. Love you guys, miss you. And then if you don't like your family, you can be like, have you been to Toledo? In January. Actually, no, I want you to do it right between Christmas and New Year's. My mom was cremated, and after my mom died, my dad got remarried, and when my dad got remarried, he gave my mom's ashes to my grandma because return to sender, I guess. You're right, I am so sorry. Return to manufacturer, that's what it is. And his reasoning was, he was like, look, I'm getting remarried and I can't take these into another woman's home. And as his daughter, I was like, yes, you can. But as an adult woman now, I'm like, oh, no, you can't. I've dated straight men. I don't like it when they follow their exes on Instagram. You're telling me if he brought a little baggie of her bones inside and was like, this lives under the TV forever, I'd be like, cool, love that there. No, I'd be passive aggressive at best. I would probably flush a teaspoon of her every day. Just... Until one day he picked it up and was like, the urn feels lighter. I'm like, maybe she lost weight. Not you body shaming the urn, babe. You know what's funny about that joke? I don't even really feel that way anymore. I think a younger version of me felt that way. When you're single in your 30s, you don't care about so much. You kind of just want someone who's not going to bug you. That's really, in my 20s, I was so insecure, so toxic. I was like, I need to be someone's first and only true love, their one and only wife. I need to be with someone who does not watch pornography. And now I'm like, you can jerk off to your dead wife if you want. I don't care. You want to put her bones under the TV? Is the TV playing my show? Then that's great. You put as many bitches up there as you want. We'll watch Love is Blind as a family. I told my buddy Dustin that, and he goes, what if you married a guy who was still in love with his dead wife? And I was like, she's not coming back. That's his thing to deal with. You know, lock yourself in the bathroom, smell her shirts, cry it out. But we're going to Chili's at 5. And the coupon's for 2, not 3. So get it all out of your system, babe. Hell, jerk off into the urn if you want. Hey, when life gives you lemons, make cement or whatever. It's romantic. She can swallow one last time. Shame on you for laughing at that. I do think my fear of... I really appreciate you guys coming to this new hour of material because I know it's a lot of God stuff and a lot of gay stuff, and my agents are nervous. I think my whole team was a little nervous when I said I was going to do a tour called Save Me and talk about religion. I got a call from my publicist one day like, hey, I heard you're going to call this special prodigal daughter and you want to call the tour Save Me. I think that's great. Just making sure you're not taking any promo photos like hanging upside down from a cross, right? Anyway, so we got rid of those photos. But no, I did not do that. I did not do that. That was never the intention. I understand why they thought it was going to be an hour just bashing Christianity, because if you watch all of my other specials, I usually take a few minutes to take a few shots at Christianity, and that's because I was working through a lot of stuff from my childhood, and also I was really jealous that Christianity had worked for other people and not me. As a mentally ill person, it is devastating when someone just goes, yeah, I used to be sad too, and then I accepted Jesus into my heart, and now I'm all better. And you're like, oh, is that all you did? That's all you did? Oh, just said a little poem in the dark, and now you're worthy of love? That's great. I love that for you. It's It's like when someone goes, yeah, I just stopped drinking soda, lost 20 pounds, all my acne went away. And you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. I hope your plane falls out of the sky. The problem that I have with religion is it can be interpreted so many different ways, right? Like you can say to a room full of people, Jesus loves you no matter what. And a lot of those people will hear, Jesus loves me. But some of those people will hear, no matter what. And that's the problem, right? Religion can be used as either a weapon or a tool. And to be clear, if you are using religion as a weapon to control, manipulate, scare people, to make yourself feel superior to everyone else, fuck you. That's not what it's for. You are not using that correctly. You're using a vibrator as a back massager, and we're all